Floyd Mayweather says that Andre SOG Ward did not beat Sergey Kovalev. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, I made a couple of videos about Floyd Mayweather. He had some things where he called out Conor McGregor, and I talked about these in those videos. He says he didn't believe Andre Ward won. Virgil Hunter's not a good trainer, and he needs somebody who's been in the trenches and actually fought before to be his trainer. He also talked about just a variety of different things. Errol Spence was brought up. He talked, obviously, promoting his card for Saturday. And he talked about a bunch of stuff like that. So, you guys seen the title of the video. And the funny thing is, make sure you guys smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel. Now, funny thing is this. I got back a little while ago. I went to the boxing gym to film. So, I got some interviews with Troy King, Aaron Coley, Madhu Ramon. And we're just grinding. Some people thought, oh, Ego is not going to make this video. I don't know what you guys think, but this is my channel. I can talk about whatever I want. You know what I'm saying? There's no shying, ducking, or dodging certain subjects. Because the funny thing is, and it's from the usual suspects. There's certain fans that, oh, why don't you talk about what Floyd said about Ward? Ha, ha, ha. And they're saying it like it's a bad thing, like it affects me. Listen, Floyd is a great fighter, and he's entitled to his opinion. That doesn't mean that I agree with Floyd Mayweather with everything he says. I have Ward beating Kovalev in a tight fight. Deal with it. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter what Floyd said. Floyd said that all lives matter, and he doesn't believe Black Lives Matter should be its own movement. Floyd Mayweather also said that he had Robert Guerrero beating Danny Garcia, or is a draw or something like that. I don't agree with that. I thought Danny Garcia won that fight clean. So at the end of the day, I don't care if it's Floyd, if it's Roberto Duran, Chavez Sr., Max Kellerman. Max Kellerman, he said even though Pacquiao lost, he's still the fighter of this generation over Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? Even though Mayweather beat him easy. So if you guys listen and you've watched my channel for some while, some time, I'm not going to be swayed, and I have two sets of eyes and I use them. I don't care what anybody else says if I know what I've seen. I was at the fight, I was live, and I interpreted how I wanted to. So, I mean, Floyd Mayweather's a free country. He can think what he wants. Max Kellerman can keep saying Pacquiao's the best of this generation, even though he's fighting Jeff Horn now. I mean, that's their own opinion. So you guys act like it hurts me. My bank account doesn't change from what Floyd said. Or, I mean, the only way it does change is if I make a video about it and it gets some views or something. But other than that, it does not hurt me. So I don't understand why you guys, oh, make a video. Like, it changes what I have to say. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. When you're a grown man and you have your own boxing insight, you can stand on your own too. I don't care if everybody in the sport of boxing said this or that. That doesn't change what I feel. You know what I'm saying? But let's get to what Floyd said. He says, I like Andre Ward, but one thing about me, I call a spade a spade. He didn't win, right? He says, Andre got to make some major changes if he's going to fight Kovalev again. You got to make some major changes. You got to get you a trainer that's been in the crunch before. And then he also said that Virgil Hunter was not a good trainer. And again, he prefers a trainer like Roger Mayweather, who's Black Mamba, who's been a fighter, or his dad, obviously, Floyd Mayweather Sr. So that's the story. This was on the ESPN set for First Take, the back room. There's like a little uncut video where Floyd said all these things, and that's his opinion. Again, I don't care who it is. I can like what Floyd does in the ring and appreciate his skill, but that doesn't mean that I agree with it. So I don't understand this whole hoopla about stuff like that. You guys act like like these are family members or something. Like, even if it's my family member, I don't agree with everything my family has ever said or done. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter who it is. My favorite fighters all the time, Roy Jones Jr. and Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson says crazy stuff all the time. He says he gives strippers lap dances, and so are you speaking out of turn again? Because you're a female. If you're speaking out of turn, then I only speak unless you want to fornicate. So are you gonna fornicate? Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't agree with that. Like, I don't have to agree with everything. Roy Jones Jr., he has a lot of great insight on the game when he's covering fights and doing interviews, but I don't always agree with what he says. He said Roman Chocolatito is the #1 pound for pound. So did Floyd. I don't agree with that. So, I mean, tough titty, Layla Ali. So, I mean, it is what it is. You guys let me know what you think. A lot of people had Kovalev winning, and this is the thing. At the end of the day, that is your opinion. I thought Kovalev let off the gas and was getting broken down to the body, and it made for a tough fight. He was still competitive, and that it is what it is. It was a close, tough fight, but the knockdown doesn't determine everything. Andre Durrell fought James DeGale and got knocked down twice, not once, but twice, and worked his way back into the fight to the point where when it was all said and done, some people said it was a draw, right? Some people said Durrell won, even though they gave it to James DeGale. Same thing with Juan Manuel Marquez when he fought Pacquiao the first time. He got knocked down 3 times, still worked his way back into the fight. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it was a close, tight fight. Floyd's entitled to his opinion on who he thinks won and what trainers he likes. That's his opinion. That don't have nothing to do with me. You guys are saying, oh, because you give props to Floyd's skill set. Talk about it. Okay, let's talk about it. It doesn't change what I feel. That's what he feels. Like I said, he also felt Robert Guerrero beat Danny Garcia or whatever he said. I don't believe that. I don't believe Roman Chocolatito is the #1 pound for pound. I don't believe that. But I do think this whole Ward Kovalev thing is really getting out of control. Like, you know what I mean? You guys are taking this loss that hard. Like, is that serious to you? Like, I don't know. Maybe because I was at the fight live, press row. I just enjoyed the fight. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it was to me, it was a classic fight. Both guys had to deal with something that they probably haven't dealt with, at least in a long time. Kovalev, when he hits things, they go away. Jean Pascal in his hometown of Canada twice. Nathan Cleverly. But Andre Ward was that fighter that wouldn't go away. So I like the grit and determination and willpower that Ward showed. And see, you guys got to understand this. Like, a lot of people who are doing, like, they knew that Kovalev Ward was for pound #1 supremacy. So I think they've been spoiled by Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather is his own fighter. He's a talented fighter. He's a great fighter. And he just so happens to have a style and a ring IQ that he could step in with top dogs in his division, in or around his division, and almost make it look effortless and have a clean face. And you know what I mean? That's just Floyd. Floyd is Floyd. But then you put those same fighters in other fights and they're different fights. You know what I mean? Berto, after the Floyd loss, I mean, he lost bad to Floyd. He really, Floyd's dancing, sticking his tongue out at Berto's girlfriend or whatever that was, ringside. And then you put Berto in with Victor Ortiz in a rematch to a fight he lost, and Berto knocks him out after getting knocked down. You know what I'm saying? So styles make fights. Floyd Mayweather is he's an anomaly. He's able to do stuff, and most of his fights, there's only a couple fights where he looked like, it wasn't even like he was busted up bad, but I think it was Maidana 1 or 2. His lip was busted, like he had a fat lip. I mean, little stuff like that. But Cotto made his nose bleed, but that's really all you get. You don't see it where his eye looks all crazy and about to fall off like Chris Algieri versus Ruslan Provodnikov. I mean, but that's Floyd. But a lot of people get almost spoiled with that, and then you think that every fight or every top-notch fight is going to be like that, right? And Kovalev Ward clearly wasn't like that. It wasn't like either guy won by a landslide. Like, even if you had Kovalev winning, you can't say he dominated Ward, because look at, he was trying and stuff. I mean, some guys, this is where people get it twisted. If this is the powerometer, then we already knew who you're gonna pick, because we knew that Kovalev, having more experience at light heavyweight and being the guy with the higher knockout percentage and named the Crusher, the notorious puncher, we know who has more power, or who should have more power, right? Simple. So that's how a lot of people judge these fights. And if that's the case, then, I mean, most fights, or not most, but there's a lot of fights that we shouldn't even watch. You know what I mean? Unless it's even on the power scale. Because when I watched Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. versus Brian Vera 1, I had Brian Vera winning. Now, his shots since he was fighting a bigger man with the chin, his shots didn't have as much effect on Chavez Jr. as Chavez Jr.'s single shots. But Chavez Jr. wasn't busy enough. He didn't throw enough punches. I don't know if it was his stamina, if he was not in shape. So if you judge a fight like that, like just who has the most brute force, then, I mean, a lot of fights. That's why a lot of people said that Bradley was getting dominated, because Bradley's shots didn't have as much steam as Pacquiao's shots. But I could have told you that going into the fight, that Bradley was not the bigger puncher. So, like I said, I think people have been kind of spoiled by Floyd Mayweather fights just because he's able to fight to the point where it's like he's fighting a Canelo and he wins in a dominant fashion. Not every fight's going to be like that. Ward had to dig deep. He had to do something he hasn't had to do in a while. And I think that's part of people's gauge on who won, is the fact that Ward had to come from behind. He was losing early rounds, and we're not used to seeing that. But that doesn't change what happened throughout the course of the fight. And the final thing is, something I notice about Floyd Mayweather is sometimes it looks like he doesn't want to get upstaged by anybody. You know what I'm saying? So what I've seen is sometimes his commentary, he tends to side with the person that he's already conquered and beat, right? For example, like I said earlier in this video, he fought Robert Guerrero. That was his mandatory, if you guys remember. I think WBC mandatory. He fought him, schooled him, looked like he was going to stop him in round 6 or 7. And he did that. He fought Cotto, did that little jail stint bullshit, and then he came back and fought Guerrero. And when Guerrero fought an opponent that he's never fought, Danny Garcia, he called that fight close, you know what I mean? And he gave leniency or whatever towards, he was more partial to the fighter he had fought, Robert Guerrero. And then the same thing, obviously he didn't fight Ward or Kovalev, but similarly, like Ward is, they were talking about the winner of that fight being pound for pound #1, right? You know what I'm saying? So it sounds like maybe he wasn't that impressed with the performance. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he wasn't that impressed. Maybe he expected more, like more of a Crawford versus Postal. And I mean, it is what it is. But that's his opinion. I have my opinion, and that's why you guys are tuned into Boxing Ego. Let me know what you guys think. Drop it in the comment section. Make sure you share the video, like the video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.